Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Rahman, and you are watching the animals production practices. Today our topic of lecture is poultry vaccines and vaccinations. First of all, let us know that when the vaccination actually started, when the first vaccine was inoculated. If we talk about the history of the vaccine, Edward Jenner is considered the founder of vaccinology in the West in 1796. Edward Jenner, he was a scientist, he was a physician who inoculated vaccine to a 13-year-old boy, okay, and from there the vaccine vaccine or vaccination process actually started or came to know to humans. In 1798, the first smallpox vaccine was developed. In 1796, he discovered vaccine, and 1798, the first smallpox vaccine was developed in scientifically basis. Okay. What is the definition of the vaccine? A vaccine is a biological preparation that improves immunity to a particular disease. An antigenic substance prepared from the causative agent of a disease or a synthetic substitute used to provide immunity against one or several diseases. Understood? Let me explain. Vaccine is actually the dead material of the particular disease, of the respective disease against which we are going to vaccinate the birds or humans. Okay, but those germs are actually dead or attenuated or inactivated or killed. Okay, and these are harmless to the animal, not causing any type of damage to the humans or the birds. So such type of vaccine, such type of dead germs, when inoculated into the body, these cause the immunity system to boost up and cause the immune system to control up the antigens being invaded and produce antibodies against those antigens, and thus the immunity produced and body become healthier. This is actually the process of vaccination. Because the injected microorganisms are dead, they don't cause a person to become sick. As I said earlier, the dead germs are attenuated or killed. Okay, these are harmless to the body. How the immune system works? As I said earlier, important fighter of body cells in each organisms, the important fighter of the body are white blood cells. The antigens which are invaded into the body may be bacteria, viruses or other microorganisms. Defensive proteins which fight against these antigens are antibodies. These antibodies are produced naturally or inoculated synthetically by the injection. Mostly the vaccines are in active form or the antibodies are in active form. And when does the antibodies active? These are triggered by the immune response, like when the antigen is invaded or attack on the body, the immune system become active and the antibodies start to produce and fight against those antigens. Recognition and removal of antigen by the body will be faster in the future. Once the body become healthier or take up the control of the antigens, the antibodies are produced in the respective body and these will be there in the body. Okay, and whenever these antigens again attack on the body, the pre-existing antibodies will kill the antigens. Okay, so the process of the immunity will be faster in the future. These are the some microorganisms against which our immune system works. These may be bacteria, parasites, pollutions like the air pollutants, toxins, fungi or viruses. These are the some antigens against which our immune system or the bird's immune system work, or we may say the immune system of every organism work. How vaccines work? The vaccines are actually the inactivated versions of the viruses or the antigens. You may consider the term antigen as the replace of virus over here. These are the shells of the virus are present. Okay, only the shells of the virus are present. Ability to replicate has been taken away. Let's inshallah in the further let me explain how can we replicate, how the ability of the to replicate is reduced. We will explain it later in the next slides. So no danger of having sick, as the ability to replication is removed, so no danger of having sick. Vaccine will float in bloodstream. Okay, body recognize them as antigen. Body will produce antibodies against vaccine. Okay, this is the simple process of immunity. What is this? The shells are killed or attenuated or inactivated, antigens are inoculated into the body. Body recognize them and start to produce antibodies against those antigens. Types of vaccines. There are three types of vaccine: live vaccines, attenuated vaccines and killed vaccines. In the next slides we will explain it one by one. First of all, live vaccines. Several ways to make live vaccines. Some of the common methods of preparation of live vaccines are involve passing the disease causing virus through a series of cell cultures or animal embryos. What does happen from this passing? This is, with each passage the virus becomes better at replicating in chick cells. Okay, the experimental animal, the reciprocal or periodic passage will make it better to be replicated in experimental animal, but will reduce its ability. It will reduce the ability of the virus to replicate in the human cells. Okay, all of the methods that involve passing a virus through a non-human host produce a version of the virus that can still be recognized by the body of the human or immune system of the human, but cannot replicate well in a human host. Okay, body will recognize the virus, but as the ability of that virus has been reduced to replicate, okay, so this inactivated virus will be recognized by the body. Mutation may occur, okay, may cause infection. Live and attenuated vaccine usually require refrigeration. This is the storage method of the live vaccines, as they require low temperature to be stored for the further use. Killed and attenuated vaccines. What are these? Attenuated, also called as semi-killed or partially killed vaccines. Meant to say, these are not totally killed germs, but these germs are semi killed. Attenuate with different means. Now how can we attenuate the germs? By electricity, heat or radiations, by the use of chemicals like formaldehyde or formalin, passing through different media. Cannot revert to more virulent form. Once these germs have been attenuated, they cannot revert to be in fully live germs. Shorter length of immunization. Required booster dose. Meant to say, attenuated vaccines may be prepared by the electricity, heat or radiations, chemicals passing through different media. Once these has been reverted or made attenuated, these cannot revert to the fully live, and their period of immunization is shorter, so they require booster dose after a specific period. Vaccination methods. There are several methods of vaccination like injection, drop, spray, drinking water, wing web puncture. Let me explain one by one. As the injection, the method of injection may be subcutaneous, intramuscular, intradermal, or in-ovo. The first method of injection is subcutaneous injection. It is hypodermic syringe to inject a liquid between skin and underlying tissues. In simple words, injecting the vaccine between skin and muscles, okay, but not in the muscles. It is between skin and muscles, okay, not in the skin, not in the muscle. It's between skin and muscles. Area of loose skin, like for example back of the neck of the bird, in the muscles must be avoided. As I said earlier, the muscles should be avoided, not to inject the vaccine. If we are going to inject it subcutaneously, not to inject it in muscles. Needle length and direction of insertion. Vaccine deposition. In the method of subcutaneous, the length of the needle and the direction of the insertion, these are the basic consideration or basic important things which you should be consider while injecting it subcutaneously. Product should be deposited 5 to 10 nanometer away from the point of skin puncture. From the skin puncture, from the upper surface of the skin, the vaccine should be deposited 5 to 10 nanometer away from the upper surface of the body. Almost all oil-based vaccines can be administered subcutaneously. Okay. Intramuscular injection. Intramuscular injection, it aims to introduce vaccines more deeply into the body, like in the muscles. Means vaccine deposition within the mass of the muscles. Highest muscle mass area like the thigh, chest, neck, and if we talk about the humans, maybe in the buttock or in the shoulder. Greater risk to damage the bodily structures, joints, tendons, vessels, nerves. If we are administering the injection intramuscularly, then there could be the greater risk of damage to the joints, tendons, vessels, or the nerves. These are the bodily structures which may get damaged in the method of intramuscular injection. Intradermal injection. What is dermis? Dermis is a layer of skin underneath the epidermis. The very first layer or upper layer outside the body is epidermis, then the next layer is dermis. Okay, it is highly vascularized and contains large amount of immune cells, mainly dermal dendritic cells, subcutaneous in the fatty layer of skin. Intradermal jet injector need high pressure. Drop method. Drop is placed in the nasal cavity. It may be used in conjunction with the eye drop method. Core spray. This is the second method of intranasal routes, mostly used to vaccinate the birds at hatchery or at farm at their earlier ages. Meant to say, the birds once just after their birth or the hatched, these are vaccinate. How can we vaccinate the birds at hatchery? By the method of core spray. Let me explain what is core spray cabinet. What is the method of core spray? How can we administer it? Different cabinets are developed for the control of the birds. These birds are placed in those cabinets and rapid administration of the respiratory vaccine is done at a hatchery. Roller conveyor. These cabinets may be roller conveyor, chick box. Chicks should remain moist for 7 to 10 minutes. After core spray, the birds should be moist with the vaccine for almost 7 to 10 minutes. 200 to 300 milliliter volume for 1000 chicks. What is the volume required to vaccinate the birds? 1000 chicks, 1000 birds, 200 to 300 milliliter. And 100 to 300 micro droplet size is appropriate for day-old chicks. What should be the droplet size of the core spray vaccination? 100 to 300. Transport them when fully dries. Avoid chilling. 7 to 10 minutes. After 7 to 10 minutes, these may be dried. Okay, and then the birds should be transferred or transported to their destination. CDA. What is CDA? Controlled droplet administration is 80 to 100 micro. This is the exposure to coarse spray method. You get this. The birds are placed in the trays and from the top this vaccine is sprayed on them. Okay, once they are sprayed, they should be moist for 7 to 10 minutes, and once they dried, they should be transported to their destination. Vaccination is ocular method. One of the most effective way for vaccination in birds. It ensures individual vaccination. Animal is restrained with his head. Vaccine is placed at uppermost portion of the eye. Ocular method. In ocular method, each bird is vaccinated one by one. How can we vaccinate? The bird is restrained from the head and vaccine is placed in the uppermost portion of the eye. Animal is held in this position until animal blink the eye. Make the animal to be in the desired position until the blinking of the eye. Oral vaccination. Restrain the head of the animal. Hold the animal from the head. Open the oral cavity. Okay. Rub your hand on the underside of animal's neck to develop swallowing reflex. How can we administer oral vaccine? Restrain the animal from the head. Open the oral cavity. Administer the vaccine in the oral cavity. Close the oral cavity. Rub your hand on the underside of the animal neck to develop swallowing reflex. Okay. Once the vaccine is swallowed by the bird, you can left the bird to go. Drinking water. It is used where the target organ is cut. When we want that vaccine should target only the gut, the drinking water method of vaccination may be used. May also be used for respiratory system. Understanding the watering system at the farm. Clean the drinkers or water lines as possible. Mild acidification of water ahead of vaccination remove the biofilm. Water should not contain any disinfectant. Vaccinal viruses are equally susceptible as field viruses. Having neutral pH. These are the some qualities or the properties of the drinking water. What should be the first one? It should be neutral pH. Okay, it should be free from pathogens. Then the drinking lines or the pipelines should be totally sanitized or disinfected. What is remove the and this is the in-ovo vaccination at 18 years of age of the chick. This machine may be used, and most important, the expertise are required to administer this vaccine in-ovo method. Okay. Wing puncture, wing web puncture. By puncturing wing web, also called transcutaneous, used for live vaccine in past. Now it is used exclusively for fowl-pox vaccine, for which against which disease the wing puncture method of vaccination is used? Fowl-pox. A double needle or two prong is provided with vaccine. Needle has depression in it. It takes vaccine when dipped in vaccine solution. Dip the needle for each time. Spread the wing of the birds. What is the method of vaccination in the wing puncture vaccination method? Spread the wing of the birds. Expose the wing web like this in the picture. Hold the bird from the legs with one hand and expand the wing of the bird with the other hand. Okay. Feather follicles. Few feathers are plucked from the thigh region. Vaccine is brushed or exposed follicles. On exposed follicles, other cutaneous method, fowl-pox. Look at the picture of the fowl-pox disease, and the vaccine is brushed on these follicles. Feed. The last one is feed. Feed-based vaccination is not frequently used. Difficulty in ensuring adequate stability and distribution. Mechanical spray over surface of the feed. Coccidiosis, against which disease the feed method of vaccination is used? Coccidiosis. What is the method of vaccination in feed? If we want it is in feed, mechanical spray of vaccine on the feed. Thanks. This was our today lecture on the vaccines and vaccination. If you have any question, you may write it in the comments. I will reply it over there. Thanks for today. Khuda Hafiz.